Hey, welcome to my playground. This is the Mad Chemist Church, or Church McGurch, depending on where you know me from. And this is Enshrouded. I was having some issues getting this video started and going, but this is a Madman Reviews, and I'm going to be doing Enshrouded. Um, this game is from a developer that made, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a decently popular, but an okay indie game called Portal Knights. And that was their base for this game. I loved Portal Knights. It was actually a really fun game. So I heard they were making Enshrouded, the graphics were all beefed up and everything looked really good. So I jumped on it and I played it. I played it for 100 hours or so. Kind of got to the stopping point, but apparently there's a new patch coming out with a lot more content. So I'll probably be picking this up again here soon. So while we're waiting for it to load in, um, surprisingly, if you've played Portal Knights, you've pretty much already played this game in the sense of like you understand how things work, how things look, what some of the stuff does. A lot of the animations and everything are pretty much the same assets. So as this renders in, it is a pretty big render. I don't know why it's acting so funny today, but we'll give it some time to render everything in. If we exit out of here. Okay. So, as usual, I'm not a very big builder. I am more the combat person. I prefer, taking the weapons, going out into the wild, and fighting things. So usually I'll make a structure, whatever the base material is, especially if there's no like raiding, like there's no way for me to get raided or enemies coming to attack me to destroy my walls. I'll just leave it the base materials and slowly upgrade things as I go. The crafting system in this game is pretty interesting. Kind of almost the exact same as Portal Knights, except for far upgraded. Okay, now everything's loading in. So this game also does a rested bonus, so the more stuff you have, as you can see, top left corner, there's a rested. I have an hour and 4 minutes of rested. I have a comfort level of 54, which is what a nice thing. I like to see in these games that they do that, where you have a comfort level and it gives you a bonus depending on your comfort level. It's a nice little thing. It kind of forces you to do decoration so that you get that buff. So even me, who, I mean, I still got the basic wood thatch walls, whatever this is, common wood. I still did a little bit of decorating. My secret room, not so secret. But so this is Enshrouded. There's NPCs that you basically find and you bring back and you summon into your area. You can then either put them in your house, you can build them a house. Kind of like I have each one kind of sectioned off and in their own individual spots with all their mechanical stuff. Bosses that I've killed have their heads mounted to my walls as trophies. Each one is their own crafting station as well. So you'll talk to them to craft it, and then they have their own individual crafting stations where you can make different resources. Put some stuff in there, boom, you got it. Different things. They just added this guy and a bard. I don't have the bard yet because I'm waiting for the next big update to come through to play again. Because I actually like playing this game with a group of friends of mine. So I kind of went and got the necromancer dude, and yeah, very basic compared to like other things that friends of mine have built. But these are your chests. They hold everything. Auto sort, gotta love auto sort. But these chests are magic, and they actually allow you to pull from anywhere. So if I was like walking up to here and I wanted to cook the corn, I have no corn. But say I go to like grilled meat, I could pull this grilled wolf meat to here and it'll start just cooking. Looking at the menu, inventory pretty basic. Go to character, weapon, armor, glider, grappling hook, rings, backpack, of course, shield, and then your main weapon level kind of shows all attributes. Status details shows you the different things about your character. The more food you eat, kind of like Valheim and other games. Your own inventory crafting, your backpack, and then skills. So kind of like most games, you have skill trees you can follow down. So there's the basic 3. You have warrior, wizard, and ranger. Those are kind of your basic 3 for the game. And then you can kind of mix and match, and it kind of shows you, like, do you want to be more of an assassin that has magic, but also has dexterity-based stuff to, you know, kill from a distance or get in close and stab? Or do you want to play more like a guy that can cast magic, but still wants to hit things with a sword and have a shield? And then do you actually want to be your party's healer, where you can actually heal people? Or do you want to just, you know, mess around with the enemies? Do you want to have creatures help you in fights? Still no pets, though. Kind of disappointing. Survivor, do you want to be really good at, like, have really good food buffs, all that stuff? Athlete, be a runner. Barbarian, you just want to hit things and not care, have a crap ton of health. Warrior, obvious. And of course, your basic tank, which is usually what I do. This is one of my characters. You can have multiple characters in this. So actually, let me switch. Return to main menu. So you can have multiple characters, and you go through character creation. I named my mage. This is the one I'm working more of a wizard. Yennefer, of course, obvious reference. Gothic Angel is my ranger. Typically, I name any second character I ever have Gothic Angel. It's just been a thing I've done since forever. And of course, my main character, always Church. My main world. You can have multiple worlds. You can kind of move and shift stuff back and forth. As long as things aren't in your designated area, they respawn after you leave the game and come back in. So if you're farming a boss, it's pretty easy just to teleport somewhere, kill the boss, leave, and then come back. This is my flame. You're flameborn. So that's kind of how they explain when you die, you turn back into a flame, come to an altar, and then you're reborn again through the flame. I've maxed out my altar, so that's how much area I cover I can build in without it disappearing. And then strength, the flame strength tells me how long I can spend in the shroud. And the shroud is like a very bad area you don't want to be in because you will die instantly. So this is my main dude. I've used him for tanking with my friends since they didn't have a tank. So we go to him. So I have him down the tank tree, into the warrior tree, and a little bit into the athlete tree so that I could get like double jump. I could get like the endurance, because the endurance is more of like how much stamina you have, and he uses a lot of stamina. The merciless attack is just a fun. Well rested's a really nice one to have. Evasion attack's nice. Double jump is amazing because you can do a double jump into a jump attack, and as a tank you can do a serious amount of damage and pull a bunch of hate. Because yes, that is the correct term. Aggro is pulling the enemy towards you, or startling the enemy. Hate is how much the enemy hates you and will continue attacking you instead of somebody else. But also, you can farm. You put down little crop things, you plant it. As you can see, there's no real lining of crops, so you just kind of put it wherever. I'm missing one piece of farmland right there. Interesting. And then you can make seedlings. Like, pretty much everything has a crafting time. You can grab water, bees for honey. And then you have areas around here that are technically your dungeons, which are covered in Shroud. Then you pops up, you have a Shroud timer. So the higher your flame strength is, the more time you can spend in the Shroud. So basically, the longer your light persists. So my sword, my shield, my two-handed axe, a pick, an axe, because this is a basic survival game, torch, and then the other nice thing is don't know where this all came from. I'll take it. Let's go to my backpack. So the nice thing about this is you have two action bars that you can switch between on the fly. One, I normally keep like my stuff I need when I'm in combat, and then one I have for like stuff I could need outside of combat, or like if I need to eat some food real quick to get my buffs back. And each food does like a different buff, as you can see. Grain, it's a grain product, so I get a grain buff with +3 strength. This is a meat product, so I get a meat buff for +3 constitution. And this is a fruit buff, and I get +1 health regeneration. This isn't like typically the food I'd take if I was going into the fight, but this is kind of like my mess around food if I'm just kind of like messing around in a game or I'm farming for something. And then you get a quick action item where you can put like a staff or a bow. So that's where one of these nice things, and then I can just hold Q and I'm ready to shoot and let go, or I can hold Q and then pew 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 pew. And it just gives this such a better feel. And then of course they have different levels and versions of the gliders and the hook shot. I don't really know where would be a good hook shot spot, but it's a pretty simple thing. You can hook shot, you can get to places faster, it unlocks certain shortcuts. But one of the best thing is the glider, which I've currently got the best glider in the game. Allows you to kind of get from point A to point B pretty quickly. There's all kinds of things you can get inside. Oh, that's nice. The glider's not there showing. But there's wells, there's other areas, items, things you can find. You can find these random flames that rekindle your buff. So you have a ton of stamina. There's certain enemies that are corrupted, basically. That guy was really low. You find them, you kill them, take their stuff. So this is a pretty standard, you know, almost fully destructible environment game, where you can find stuff like this box here and destroy it, loot what was inside. And a lot of the stuff you'll find here in the corrupted is like the corrupted items. This dude. Come in. Let's see if I can find this guy's shooting at me. Ow. In here. I can block his stuff. And there's kind of the physical shields, and then there's the physical shield won't do much against magic, but then there's like magical barriers you can equip that'll actually block magic attacks. This guy is definitely not set up to fight magic. He's more set up to fight just pretty much anything that has a physical. Red is bad. Red will kill you almost instantaneously. And another nice thing is, as long as you're not in the blue mist where it pops the little bar that says Enshrouded, you can pretty much teleport to any of your teleport designated locations. So if I wanted to come out here, check this place out, Southern Cavern Camp, and be like, oh, okay, well, that's just a lot of sleeping people. Interesting. Oh, look, a chest. Walk over. Boop. Cool. Take the potion. There's all kinds of fun potions you can get. You can upgrade items by salvaging different weapons, magic weapons, and you get these coins here, runes. You then take the runes and you would use it to upgrade your weapons. Like, I've upgraded my sword, my legendary sword. I've upgraded it completely. It's got all these bonuses, pierce, 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 pierce. Which really helps because the more you crit as a tank, obviously, the more hate you generate. And the less likely your target's going to turn around and smack your poor, squishy wizard friend. So, over here, take that. Come over here. Ooh, find a big chest. Take that. And a lot of times you'll find like scrolls here you can read, they'll glow. I've already read that one. Find some lockpicks. So, and also a lot of stuff is just hanging out in the environment. A lot of the things you can actually walk up to and like see if it's pick-upable or destructible. Like I could destroy this and get a bunch of like wooden things. This will be glowing, you'll touch it, you'll get a little blurb, and you'll actually get some XP. There's also, oh, that's not a chest. There's also groups of these where if you find them all, you get little bonuses. So we go back to the journal. This is where you see all your craftsmen. Like I said, I'm missing the bard. This is where you would get, you'd see all your quests. Follow the melody, that's how I get the bard. Your overworld map. Skills, character, backpack. So let's go back to the overworld. So as long as I'm not in the Enshrouded area, I can pretty much teleport to any of these places that have this symbol. So I can just go to, or this symbol. These are the like dungeon towers that unlock kind of a new area. So let's teleport back. Cat jumped into a box. So you have all kinds of stuff. All kinds of different little things you can get. Items. This is a survival crafter. And this is probably one of the best ones that I've seen. Just due to the fact that I don't have to hand do stuff. I can just shift R, and if it's the same item, it'll move over automatically without me having to move it. Like I shift R, those two items moved. I come over here, this is all my meat and water, but if I go down here, this is where I have my honey, shift R. Oops, that's not in the right spot. Press G. Oh, look at that. Now everything's in the right spot. You don't really have any labels. I really haven't seen or cared enough to go and look for how I could label each one of these to make like sorting faster. I generally don't have an issue sorting, is the thing. Yeah, I don't really do too much farming. I might have to do a lot more farming now that the game, they're about to get, I think they're raising the level cap to like 30, so all the gear will go up to 30, because right now the level cap is 25. And all the different kinds of potions you can get. There's more of potions, but those are the only ones I have on hand. There's different types of ammunition you can poison. You can get bombs. Scrolls to cast magic from. Let's see if I can find. There it is. So magic. Oops. You can also sort here by pressing T. Sort here by pressing G. Go back here. It doesn't sort from your hotbar. So if something was in your hotbar like that potion was, different thing, keys, trophies, different items. What else? What else? What else? What else? These are the building blocks you need. You take these building blocks and then you can then turn them into different amounts of building blocks equals different, like 100 building blocks will make one wall. Oh, he's got a quest for me.
Let's fix that up.
About the collector. These guys are also your quest givers. So every once in a while a little thing will pop up, and then when you get close to them, they'll make a noise. They'll be like, and they'll have a new quest for you. So how magic works is you'll put a staff on, and then you'll equip either an infinite source of magic, or you'll equip one of these random spells that have charges, and once you use up all the charges, the spell disappears, like Ice Bolt. You have like 100 charges. That one has 103. Chain Lightning. Lightning Channel. Heal. Arrows have different... There's only a handful of different types of arrows. You can poison them. If you take certain skills, you can make like exploding arrows, or like arrows that make enemies stick to, like sticky arrows that hit and explode and enemies get stuck in them. This is my main guy. That's the warrior. You've already kind of seen the ranger. The ranger has like, or not the ranger, the sorcerer or wizard, which has like wands. That you saw, there's a wizard. And unfortunately, the ranger, if you want to go more of the bow, the ranger really didn't get too much unique-wise. Like, anybody can use any weapon, but the wizard, you're going to use more of a staff and a wand, whereas the ranger, kind of, you're going to mainly use a bow. So if you're going for like a melee build with your ranger, I think it's like the assassin. The assassin mainly focuses on like daggers, and I haven't really played too much around with daggers, but they didn't really seem to be that great of a weapon. I'm hoping they get buffed more. I'm gonna press Alt. But on this character, I have been kind of messing around with daggers, and they're actually a lot of fun, so I could see it being viable for that. But when it comes to it, warriors really didn't get a cool queue that was specific to them. Like wizards have the staff, ranger kind of has the bow, and in Portal Knights, warriors, their throwing thing was axes. So their specific thing that they could throw was basically hand axes, which they didn't carry over to this game, which I'm kind of surprised about. So, that's just a brief overview for Enshrouded. I do these as kind of mini reviews, not full. I mean, not many, because most of them are about almost half an hour. But I don't like to show a lot of gameplay, because that kind of, like, when I do a review, it kind of defeats the I feel like when people do reviews, they show gameplay, and it kind of defeats the purpose of experiencing the game for yourself beyond the previews of the game. So I kind of want to keep what I show to a minimal, and just kind of show off like what I've done, what I've seen, kind of what I did with my characters. And that way, if you're looking for like, oh, maybe I should take like that skill, you can kind of pause the video here and like look like, oh, there's double jump. What do I need to get? Okay, and then you go to yours and you're like, okay, I need that. All right. Or the sneak attack, like, well rested is a really good one to take. Anything that buffs your character is pretty good to take. And these characters aren't also max level. I only have like one max level character, well, until they up the level to 30. But this is pretty much Enshrouded in a nutshell. beautiful game. The graphics updated from the kind of blocky, polygony thing to this, from Portal Knights to this. This is the starting area. I really didn't move out from here. You kind of see you have all these little dungeons you can go into in the starting area. Just kind of familiarize yourself with it. Find chests. I'm not going to worry about it. You can find little wildlife, kill it, eat it. Oh, here's one. I didn't really come over here. Boom, get it, you get credit for it, gain a little bit of XP. And there's all kinds of enemies, there's all kinds of stuff to explore. Even when you think you've completed an area, you can come back and... like, oh, did I ever go up there, even though I was just in here? Or like, what's this pile here? And then you can take out a pickaxe and start picking at it. And, oh no, look, I found this random, like, tunnel under this mound of rubble. Or, oh, I broke through a wall that... because a lot of this environment is you can destroy. So it's not just like... oh, I can't go... oh, there's something on the other side of this wall, how do I get to it? And then you just... come over here. Bink, bink, bink. Oh look, I am breaking... I just broke through the wall. So, and that's pretty much everything. You can dig. I don't exactly know how far you can go. You can dig pretty damn deep. And I've upgraded my altar. I'm trying to find the line, but it actually shows you the line of like where you can build to. And it's pretty far out. Once you get it to the last one, you can get pretty far. And nothing respawns and you're inside the circle. So if you have an area that you really like, don't make your circle too big. But I could take this entire area, I could build little things, put all my quest givers in there, and make them have their own little homes. But that's it in a nutshell. I also like to disguise my workbenches. The moment you hit a workbench, it repairs everything without material cost. All items repaired. So that's actually really nice. But again, thank you for your time. This has been Enshrouded. I hope if you really like what you saw, you pick it up, you play it. But please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments or not. Just put a little period. I don't know, put just, you know, woo. I don't really care. It helps out the channel. It helps me, you know, get noticed and seen out there. Because I do these videos for my friends and my family and anyone else that wants to see these games, that wants to see, you know, just see some dude, some guy just playing a game, having a good time. That's all I'm here to do. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Somebody's getting a little huffy in the background because she probably needs to go out. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being here. And as I always say, you be you, you stay you, and most importantly, adventure on.